Welcome back to our multi-part series on Thomasville, North Carolina and neighborhoods in the area. This week we're talking about the southern western side of Thomasville. We'll be starting the tour in the center of town again here in the square and taking a western direction first on West Main Street. Our first Thomasville staple here is the S&S Grill. They have a very good lunch. Now they're like a hot dog hamburger joint, and of course dessert as well. And they're known around town, but if you get there too late, a lot of times it's kind of hard to find a seat because it's so popular. As we go through this light here, you'll see the Thomasville Post Office here on the left, and then also our new ambulance service here. Not new, but they're adding on 3 bays to the existing ambulance service. Now coming up on our left is Doak Park in Thomasville. It's got a ball field, it's got a playground, it's got a little walking path and some picnic areas in it. And this little playground here is fairly new. It's got a skate park, ironically being called Doak Park. Some people refer to it as Dope Park because unfortunately many times I've been to this area, even with 2-year-olds and young kids running around, you've got older kids or even adults in the area that'll pull up and be smoking weed somewhere around the area, and there my son is telling me he smells a skunk. Ironically, also it's located directly across the tracks from the brand new Thomasville Police Department, which apparently doesn't see it as an issue. Here we are at the very beginning of what is known as Mills Home. It's Baptist Children's Home that helps kids that maybe they need to be fostered, teen parents, single mothers, different things in that nature, and also helping kids to get adopted. I actually went here when I was younger for daycare for years. I wasn't an orphan or adopt or anything, but they had a great child care center here right in the center, and they had the older unit next door. It was actually founded in Thomasville in 1885 by John Mills. Pretty amazing something like this could grow to cover the whole state in many different locations and some parts of Virginia and South Carolina. We're going to circle under and around this bridge here that they put in a few years ago, it seems like, in an effort for Thomasville to remove a lot of its crossings across the railroad track, because we do have several, or at least a few incidences every year where someone gets hit by a train. How you don't know the train's coming, I don't understand, but apparently it happens. This is going to bring us down to the end of Baptist Children's Home Road, and we're going to be taking a left onto Lexington Avenue, which is what West Main Street on the other side of the tracks kind of just turns into that as we get to this side of town. Down through here you got this little strip mall on the left, which has been a numerous things. You've got some used car lots down through here, a little community mobile mart there. Nothing really significant to mention through this stretch here. Alright, we are coming up onto Mobile Oil Lubricants here on the right in an old Coca-Cola building. They've been there for I don't know how many years. Also, we're coming up on the first entrance to the Thomasville Hospital beside of this fire department here. The hospital also has some additional medical facilities around it, such as urologist, there's a neurologist I know of, and some other specialists are available. Coming up, we have Great Skate, or I think it's called Thomasville Skating or something now. Back in my day, it was called Great Skate. I know as a young child, I used to come here quite often, so it's pretty old. But if you're looking for that old school skating experience on the hardwood floors of the skating rink, then you ought to come check it out. Also coming up are some of the nicer apartments in Thomasville that we had talked about in one of the previous videos that covered the other side of the road. This is kind of on the outskirts of town. It's still in the city limits, but it is definitely on the outskirts of town on the western side. Right up here on the left is actually a piece of land that we mentioned in one of the other videos that just sold for 1.some million. They've actually, since the last video, started doing some clearing in there. So I guess whatever building plans they have are coming to fruition, and we should see some new homes or townhomes being built in there soon. Now in this portion of the video, instead of taking the highway here, which is 2970, or also known as Business 85, we're going to run along this side road that takes us beside of it, and then it's going to circle us back around, back through into town. Now let's take a look at some of the side roads and what kind of homes you can expect to see in this area. A lot of times through here you'll see a few newer homes mixed with some older homes. It's a very broad mix of age range homes through here. It really opened up the building opportunities when they annexed this several years ago into the city. This area you typically see a lot of your standard 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses, really a lot of different styles in here. You'll see some of the newer ones again sell for mid 250s to the lower 2s, and then there's some of the smaller square footage 3.2s or maybe even a 2.2 that sell for around the 180, 190 marks, depending on their condition, obviously. On the left here, you're going to come up on the Pilot Lions Club. They have some great barbecue during the fall and winter time, but it's really good if you want to stop, get some great barbecue that goes to a good cause. Now we're in the far left corner of the map. We're coming by Pilot School. I actually went to school here when I was young. My mom taught here, my cousin taught here, and this is why this area is known as the Pilot School area, which can be confusing since there's a Pilot Mountain and some people get these two confused. Here's a quick update just to keep you on tune of where we are on the map going through town. As we go up and over this bridge, we're actually crossing over the main tracks that go through the center of town. They come down through here, and you can hear the train in this area. Not necessarily blowing its horn, but you can hear it on the tracks. This turn takes us on to Lake Road, which is actually our start back into town on the lower side of town, and then we're going to circle up through the center, bringing us back to our start point. Turning left at the bottom of this hill is going to put you on the Boggs Road, which takes you on to Johnsontown Road. At the end of Johnsontown, there's a couple different developments in there, smaller developments that have newer homes on it. These roads are Sam Kennedy Drive and Johnny A. Court. You've got homes from like 1993, 1998, so you got beginning and end of the 90s there through there. A lot of these are vinyl sided houses. You see most of them are selling around that 250, 230 mark. Not a whole lot of acreage to start with. You might have a nice fenced in backyard, but you're not going to be able to ride four-wheelers and things like that through here. On occasion, you do see some that are for a deal, and you might get them for, high 100s and around 180, 175. Bringing us up this hill here, we're going to come to, I'm going to say probably the nicer hotel motels in the Thomasville area, the Microtel, and I think this is a Comfort Inn now. It's changed a couple times, the bigger one here. They're probably the nicest ones in Thomasville. Thomasville does have a few other motels, but some are in less than desirable areas. Plus, these motels are right off Interstate 85, so it's easy on, off, and wherever you might be on your way after that. This is going to bring us around to the start of West Holly Hill Road in Thomasville. That'll bring us down to 109, which is the main road that goes through north and south of Thomasville. Here's a little map to kind of give you some bearings of where we are. Let's take a look at what we can expect for homes in this area on the left side. A lot of the homes in here are a wide mix of homes. You've got a lot of ranches, but they're also a wide range of ages. You'll have the vinyl sided newer homes built in the 2000s and 90s that are selling in the low 200s, smaller 3-bed, 2-bath homes. You've got a couple apartments down through here, nothing that's trashy. And then also you've got the occasional smaller house, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, that might be selling for under $100,000 and might make you a great investment property down the road. Coming up on the right here is Holly Hill Cemetery. It's got to be the biggest cemetery in Thomasville. There's thousands of people here. It is a very nice cemetery. You always see people either walking for exercise or visiting their loved ones. Also here on the right is one of my favorite closing attorneys. I used them before I was ever a real estate agent, and I continue to use them just because I continue to get good results, and I like to stay with something that's reliable. Here we are turning onto Randolph Street that runs through north and south of Thomasville, but also known as 109 once you get out of the city. Through this area you're going to run into, we got Wells Fargo Bank, we got Papa John's Pizza, a hardware store. Quality Hardware is our main hardware in Thomasville. You've also got Advance Auto Parts here, a paint store, Misty's Bakery, another donut shop up the street there, Barbecue Shack here on the left, which you really need to check out if you like a tenderloin biscuit in the mornings. They're huge, and sometimes if you're lucky you get two. We got a gun store down this little road here, car rental place, another auto parts place. We've got 3 or 4 auto parts places in Thomasville. On this end of town there isn't a whole lot to choose from as far as restaurants. We got a Sonic. There's another pizza place down here. Once you get uptown to the tracks, you got JJ's Deli, but there isn't a whole lot of, there's really no chain restaurants other than the Sonic right there. On the left here in this little shopping center is the barbershop. He came from a couple other barbershops, but decided to open his own here. It's probably the biggest barbershop in Thomasville, apart from someone like Great Clips or something. As we get to the bottom of the hill here on the left is Rinker Concrete Materials. They're actually a part of Quickcrete, and they make culverts, concrete pipe, concrete boxes, pretty much all things concrete that you might need to mold into a shape. Working our way back up toward the tracks, we got the Thomasville Courthouse, the Thomasville Library, also on the left here, and then also Nature's Cottage, a friend of mine owns, that has massage and oils and all kinds of natural stuff, and then an entertainment space there beside of it as well.
Well, that concludes this video for Thomasville on the southwestern side of Thomasville. Look forward to seeing you in the next video covering another portion of Thomasville or something about the Triad. Thanks for watching.